Silksong doesn't just test your skills, it tests your stubbornness. The question isn't, is it hard? It's, is the cruelty the point and is it worth it? Short answer, yes, and yes, mostly. This is a gorgeous, precision-tuned Metroidvania that will chew you up with paid benches and 2 mask hits, then hand you a tiny, perfect tool and dare you to make magic with it. If you're here for an easy victory lap after 7 years of memes, Pharloom will eat your lunch. If you embrace the pilgrimage, it's phenomenal. Context first, receipts included. Team Cherry delivers a full sequel, not a DLC scale add-on. Outlets agree on the quality and the temperament. PC Gamer slaps a 90 while calling out the Dune Pain box, vibe and those hellish runbacks. IGN lands in the high 9 range, praising the balance of challenge, exploration and boss design. Eurogamer dubs it beautiful, thrilling and cruel, leaning into the idea that the meanness is authored, not accidental. Where they split is how much that cruelty helps. One critic revels in the masochism. Another wants fewer gotcha benches and less opaque endgame gating. That tension is the whole game. Bold take from veteran game. Silksong is a banger with a bite. It's intentionally prickly, occasionally petty, and that's part of its identity. The only misfire big enough to knock it is how much stellar contides behind side tasks that feel like busy work. When the game asks you to be graceful under pressure, it sings. When it asks you to farm trinkets because a better ending is taped behind a shopping list, it mutes the chorus. Let's talk why the moment-to-moment slaps. Hornet's kit changes the grammar of the world. The endless dash encourages aggressive routes and big positional swings. Mantling speeds traversal so much that going back to a no-mantle Metroidvania feels like losing a limb. The diagonal downslash, your pogo but skewed, turns aerial lanes into chess problems. You're a knight, not a rook, and every bounce chain is a geometry exam. Once this clicks, you stop face tanking and start threading needles. Combat is platforming with knives. Treat bosses like dance partners, not punching bags. Dash through tells, poke, retreat, reposition, heal. Healing itself is redesigned to reward calm over chaos. Build Silk by hitting, cash it for a big 3-mask surge, and trust that most fights offer windows to breathe if you stop panicking. The game even sprinkles trash mobs in traversal rooms as little silk batteries. You're never truly without options, unless you insist on playing it like a 3D character action game. Then Pharloom will rake you across the spikes for hours. Customization is smarter, not louder. Crests redefine your basic attacks, and tools slot into color lanes, red for offense, blue for defense, yellow for utility. The split is the genius bit. Support no longer competes with damage in the same slot, so you actually experiment. Favorite tech from our runs. The Reaper Crest for wide arc coverage that synergizes with post-heal Silk Pop. A red anti-air tool to delete flyers that otherwise bully Hornet's diagonals. And a blue hazard counter when trekking through poison or fire zones that love to double tap your mask count. Pattern Interrupt. The world's design supports wandering as a strategy, not a shame. Stuck on a boss. The correct move isn't get good, it's get gone. Pharloom is a tangled cat's cradle of routes that almost always reward detours with a new tool, a crest you love, or a vertical shortcut that rewires 3 regions. That's where Eurogamer's stuck strategy clicks. Roam, learn, return stronger. The map pin system, blessedly present at launch, means you can mark pain points and come back with purpose instead of resentment. Critiques you'll feel in your thumbs. Benches that cost money and benches that lie about being safe are funny the first time and annoying the 5th. Runbacks, after certain mid-game gauntlets, toe the line between tension and tedium. And early on, health feels stingy when so many enemies deal 2 damage. The counterweights are real, generous heal windows, silk batteries, and side paths that open the world laterally, but the friction is deliberate. If you bounce off that philosophy, no build tip will fix it. Quick spoiler in 3, 2, 1. The first ending is achievable shockingly early, and it's underwhelming by design. The better conclusion and a fat chunk of content sits behind a web of optional quests, including a couple fetch questy chains that feel uncharacteristically rote. No specifics here, but if the credits roll and you're thinking that's it, it isn't. Spoilers over, back to slicing bugs. A few practical plays to make Pharloom less spiteful. Build for the air war. Flyers are where most players bleed. Pair a red anti-air tool with a wide arc crest, so you're not spending silk to chase gnats. Use yellow utility to keep your rosaries off the floor and your position pinned during sprawling searches. Swap blue tools to match the biome, and don't hoard silk bank heals whenever a window opens, because 2 bad bumps can erase 10 minutes. Above all, retool at benches like it's a deck builder. You're not underpowered, you might be misslotted. Where do the big outlets converge? Difficulty is high but intentional. Boss choreography is clever. World building is luscious. The soundtrack is the cozy haunted glue. Where do they diverge? Whether paid benches and long runbacks are elegant friction or time tax. And whether the opaque road to the better ending is a delicious secret or a design pothole. Our verdict plants a foot in both camps. The cruelty has a purpose and a personality, and 95% of the time it pays off. The opaque endgame chores are the 5% scuff. If this kind of no BS deep dive hits your neurons, hitch a ride with Veteran Game and hit subscribe. When we say ending explained, we actually explain things, no 12-minute digressions on the color grading of moss. Value check. At $20-ish on PC and consoles, the scope is wild. Pharloom keeps unfolding new biomes, new micro-stories, and bosses that range from balletic tragedy to I am laughing and crying nonsense. Silksong doesn't just look like how you remember Hollow Knight. It makes Hollow Knight look flatter in hindsight. Final stance. Silksong is beautiful, mean, and meaningful. It wants you to laugh through gritted teeth and learn something about patience, root finding, and your own appetite for friction. The game doesn't apologize, neither will we. Spicy closer. Is the cruelty essential to Silksong's identity? Or could Team Cherry have trimmed the paid benches and opaque true ending? Chores without losing the soul? Debate below.